Today's an exciting day, Zach, to be here because we are paying off the end of our top 25 athletes since 2000, part of our great sports debate. And I'm going to recap what we have so far. Okay, 25, Shaun White. 24, Alexander Ovechkin. 23, Shohei Ohtani. Floyd Mayweather. Clayton Kershaw. Diana Taurasi. Rafa Nadal. Aaron Rodgers. Sidney Crosby. Tim Duncan. Simone Biles. Kobe. Peyton. Federer. Mahomes. Curry. Phelps. Ronaldo. Djokovic. 6 was Bolt. And now we're to the top 5. And let's bring on a special guest.
Oh, wow.
To help announce the top 5 from parts unknown. One Maggie Gray, who's definitely in our top 25 since 2000. Maggie, how you doing?
Hey, guys. How you doing? I can't believe we're here. I'm sorry I can't be there with you for the final 5. I mean, when I tell you, Zach, that Perloff and I almost came to fisticuffs over this top 5. No, I'm just kidding. We argued over this list. We agonized over this list. We still didn't get it perfect, but here we are with the last 5. I mean, I can't believe we've got here, Perloff. It feels like the end of a long journey.
And this is how you know you're a big deal, Maggie Gray. You're off today and you're a guest on your own show. That's when you know that you've made it in your career.
Yeah, did I have a choice? No, I did not have a choice. Is there anywhere else I'd rather be? Also, no. So I'm glad I can, be here for this spectacular reveal of our top 5 greatest athletes since 2000.
Okay, Maggie, how do you want to do this? I feel like it's an honor to actually say the names of who won. So do you want to do the top 5? And I could give usually you prepare all the information. And for some reason, of course, as you'd not be surprised, I totally blanked on that.
Yeah, Perloff a little unorganized today.
Yeah. Well, you have no idea. Zach has been driving me nuts with all, first of all, he booked a Kansas City Chief, which was against our rules. But why did you announce the top 5? And then we can go from there. If you have them, do you have them in front of you?
Yes, I think I can do this.
Okay.
I think I can do this.
Before you go.
So Maggie won the arguments is what she's basically saying whenever you guys had a fight over this.
Right, but before you go, remember we have Maggie's favorite song for the top 25.
Ooh.
The Great Debate Series. 25 greatest athletes since 2000.
This is great production.
Yeah, it's got like
I feel like I'm in Vegas right now.
It starts with a classical, and then it gets a little jazzy, like we're getting a little disco here. All right, Maggie, who do we got at number 5?
Number 5 on our list, Lionel Messi, Perloff.
Lionel Messi has won countless Ballon d'Ors. As I mentioned, I didn't do the prep on this, but he recently won the World Cup and is widely considered the greatest soccer player of all time. So that is number 5. Zach, by the way, he's already mad at our list, Maggie. Just so you know, he is not happy with this. But I think Messi is not his issue. All right, let's go on to number 4.
Number 4 on our list, we had to do it. She's known as one of the GOATs. It's Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, 23 majors, all since 2000. Number 4 of the most dominant athletes of the 2000s. Again, that was one, I'll be totally honest, Zach, we thought about putting her even higher. So she is number 4.
Gotta love Serena.
Okay, number 3, Maggie.
Number 3 on our list, you know him, you love him, he's amazing, he's controversial. It's Tiger Woods.
Yes, Tiger Woods. I think this might be too low for some people. So he has 15 majors. 13 of them have been won in the 2000s. So we got a few before the 2000s. Zach, just so you know, we don't count what the guy did during the 90s. So Tiger straddled both decades, but did a lot of his damage. And also,
one of the great comeback stories, too.
One of the great comeback stories with the 2019 Masters. I do think he had some of his negatives in the 2000s, which counted against him. But he is Tiger Woods. Number 2, which will also probably reveal number 1 if you've been following all along.
Number 2 on our list, Mr. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, I mean, Zach's a Patriots fan.
I'm going to get up and leave.
Oh, boy. It's
second time I've threatened that today.
As you well know, 7 Super Bowl rings so far, Maggie, right? You know what I'm saying? So far, 7 Super Bowl rings. Widely considered the GOAT. Might have been a 6th-round pick, but he is number 2 on our list, which means, should we transition to a drum roll for number 1?
number one on our list, my absolute favorite, it's LeBron James.
Wow. Okay, so LeBron James, number one on the list. Now, keep in mind, came into the league in 2003. Really has been 4 championships, has been the story of the 2000s. I think, Maggie, you and I both agree that the dominant single athlete of the 2000s is LeBron James. We don't even need to go to the phone lines because we have one very angry Zach Gelb here, Maggie, and I think we're going to have to defend this.
I'm not agitated. My question just is this, and I hate the GOAT debate. I really do. I think it's just like lame, lazy radio. But Brady's considered the GOAT at the quarterback position in his sport. I would still say in the NBA, most people consider MJ over LeBron. So I'm just wondering, how does the GOAT in his sport beat out the other guy that's considered the number 2 in the other sport?
Okay, so here's you got to keep in mind, though, Zach. This is best athlete since 2000. So Michael Jordan does not figure in to this list unless you want to start talking about the Washington Wizards years. So even though a lot of people think that Jordan is the best, can you tell the story of the NBA without LeBron James? I would also say the 10 finals, 8 straight finals, which is more than Michael Jordan did. I don't want to get into a Jordan-LeBron debate, but, I mean, the amount of postseason winning that he did is up there with Brady and surpasses Brady. I mean,
how does it surpass Brady?
Even Brady couldn't do that.
But how does it surpass Brady? The guy's been to, 10 or 11 Super Bowls and has won 7 championships.
I'm just talking about straight through. I mean, straight through LeBron James dominance. I mean, we're talking about also basketball, which is more of a singular sport, a more individualized sport where LeBron James can also play offense and defense. There were so many things that went into this pick, but we wrestled over it, we argued about it, and ultimately we came away with LeBron.
Well, so one thing dovetailing off that, LeBron is basketball in the 2000s. He's the face of the sport. Tom Brady is somewhat the face of the NFL, but the NFL has such a pantheon of stars, and the teams are a bigger deal. LeBron is it in basketball.
Which I think is even more of an argument for Brady because he had to go up against Peyton Manning for all those years. And LeBron, the Eastern Conference, it was easy peasy for him all the time.
Okay, but Brady won 3 Super Bowls where he wasn't even fully formed yet as a quarterback.
He won 2 Super Bowl MVPs then.
But, I mean, come on. That was a different Patriots team.
And I love this list. It is awesome. I think we have to look at the committee here. We have a Buffalo Bills fan and a Philadelphia Eagles fan. There's no way Brady was getting number 1 here. There's no way Maggie Gray, who wants to throw Tom Brady through a table and then throw some ketchup and some mustard in his face, was going to put Tom Brady number 1.
Listen, I would have put Belichick number 1, but Perloff didn't want me to do it. I respect the Patriots more than anybody because they kicked my butt for 20 years. No, my team's butt. Here's the thing. Some of those MVPs, though, the early ones with Brady, I mean, probably should have given them to Adam Vinatieri. Sometimes they give them to the quarterback because it's kind of the default where the defenses, I think we can all agree, were really leading the way there, not to take away from Brady. But, I mean, it was all about mixing winning and athleticism and, dominance of the league. All of that stuff came together in the pick for LeBron James.
Okay, Maggie, let me ask you a question. We're now through the list, 25. What's the one that we left off that either bothers you the most or you've gotten the most negative feedback about?
So I can't sleep at night. This is the one that bothers me the most, and you and I talked about this a lot, the fact that Albert Pujols is not on the list.
100%.
People are not going to be able to understand why a 3-time MVP and a 2-time World Series champ, somebody who has hit over 700 home runs, someone who played from 2001 to 2022, when our list is all about the 2000s, and somebody, to be fair to Pujols, despite all of that, really never had a whiff of PEDs. So in my opinion, Perloff, this is the one that I would like to have back. I just don't know who we take off to put Pujols on the list because we put Ohtani on because he's a game changer. We put Clayton Kershaw on because of his pitching prowess, and we didn't have a place for Pujols, and I think that's what's going to get us the most bad feedback.
Well, someone compared it to Mark Jackson leaving Jokic off his MVP ballot. When we get started.
So Pujols, I absolutely agree, has to be on this list. For me, the biggest omission is Barry Bonds. And say what you want about PEDs and all that stuff. And, I'm younger. I'm 28. He was baseball for me growing up as a kid, and I know we'll have to wait and see if he'll ever get into the Hall of Fame, but he's done things that I've never seen before. I understand it wasn't always clean, but I would have put him in the top 25.
Well, we had to draw a line.
We couldn't do it with the PED guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Bonds, like, technically, I guess, has never failed the test, but we all know exactly what, Yeah, we know that he cheated, and so we left A-Rod off the list. We left him off the list. We left Manny Ramirez off the list. I mean, we left David Ortiz off, not so much about the PEDs because that's just been a whiff and a whisper, and he'll get into the Hall of Fame, but more about the DH position, playing first base, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, this is difficult about Bonds, and we also thought – most of the time when he was clean, supposedly, was more in the 90s. So that's what was tough. For us also for Pujols, can you tell the story of baseball without Albert Pujols in the 2000s? I think that's up for debate. I'm not debating his incredible, athleticism, not questioning him as a winner. It's just, can you tell the story of baseball without Albert Pujols in the 2000s? You might be able to.
2 championships, too. I give you guys a lot of credit because it's tough with how diverse you guys did delve into, because if I was doing this list, I wouldn't have thought of some of the athletes that you did just because I usually care for the 4 major sports, and I don't really care for some of the other sports. So I give a lot of credit on it. The other thing to me that is interesting, I love Mahomes. Mahomes is great. At 11, I think it's a little bit too early, especially when Peyton Manning was at 13. And the other thing that did stand out to me was the Ohtani one. We all know Ohtani's one of one, but a few years into the career, I just thought it was premature.
Did you say Mahomes being 11?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes 11. Yeah, we got a little bit of a hard time about that, but Mahomes has 2 legit Super Bowl wins. Peyton's got 1 and a quarter Super Bowl win because he didn't do anything in that 24-10 win over the Panthers in 2015.
That's a good point.
No, Maggie doesn't agree with that.
A disclaimer. That is the thoughts of one Andrew Perloff.
Oh,
wow.
You're doing that?
Did deserve.
You're doing that because the callers. If that's the case, and all the callers are calling in about LeBron should be behind Brady.
You know what I just heard?
That's on you.
You know what I just heard?
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. The bus is just backed up on Perloff. Just got rolled over. Bye, Perloff. Rest in peace.
Do you remember the meeting where I'm like, Maggie, we got to put Pujols on her? No, that. I'm just kidding.
What did Bob Costas think of that one?
He didn't like it.
I know we drew straws to see who would tell Costas that Mike Trout didn't make the list. We didn't even suggest to Perloff or to Costas, excuse me, that Pujols wasn't on the list. The thing about Mahomes, yeah, it was also about the transcendence in a different way. We left our criteria for this pretty vague, kind of on purpose, because we wanted to be able to fit it in ways that felt right for the Maggie and Perloff show. And while Peyton Manning was a game changer in terms of audibles at the line of scrimmage, him from the neck up was probably the best quarterback that we've had. But we thought Mahomes is the physical tools, the mental, the arm. He's got every single thing, and nobody thinks Mahomes is going anywhere. So it was a little bit of like a futures bet, if you will, on Mahomes over Peyton Manning.
Also, I want to give you credit being a hockey fan. I thought you got it right, Crosby over Ovechkin. I would have bumped, though, Ovechkin up a few spots just because he's going to go on to break Gretzky's record of most goals in the history of the NHL, which no one ever thought was going to get broken. But from the hockey standpoint, I thought you got the 2 that you needed on this list.
Yep. Hey, Meg.
Thank you.
Should we announce next week's Great Sports Debate? Because I'm so excited about it. I think we.
Okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, I actually have been doing some work on this, and I am now so excited about this.
Oh.
I'm beyond stoked. Yeah, if you want to announce it, go ahead.
Next week in the summer-long Great Sports Debates, we are doing the best sports movie in each of the major sports. We're going to go 1 sport per day, and it's going to be awesome. Zach, I know you're going to be so into this, and you're going to be mad just like you're mad about this list.
Yeah, it's good cross-show promotion. I'll be paying attention, little checks and balances. But, Maggie, I actually have an announcement here. You know who didn't make the list that I'm very happy about?
Who?
Carson Wentz didn't make the list. And in my hands right now, I have secured the final piece of the Wentz poster, and we're going to hear this live on CBS Sports Radio. We just ripped it. It is done. It is finished. And we say goodbye to Carson Wentz, who, by the way, in the news today, killed a bear, getting a lot of backlash on social media.
Oh, man. I did not see that. Wait, Zach, are you telling me that did you just rip the last piece of the Carson Wentz poster with your bare hands? Because Perloff and I could not destroy that poster for the life of us. Perloff, did Zach just put us to shame by ripping this poster up?
We had softened it up for him. That's what happened.
We're losing that for it.
All right, Maggie, appreciate the time. Yeah, we'll see you on Monday when we start on the great movie debates, and we'll hear your thoughts on the NBA draft. And, and Zach will maybe stop yelling at me about
I have a
Albert
quick question
Pujols.
for Maggie.
Yes.
Maggie, are you annoyed that McDermott and Bean got contract extensions?
No, I'm not annoyed by that. Ultimately, I don't think that – well, I'll talk about Bean. I do not think that he's the problem. And McDermott, I think even with the contract extension, if they don't make the at least AFC Championship game and maybe Super Bowl this year, that's money they're going to eat, and they'll be finding another coach anyway. So I'm not like I wouldn't be too beholden to that contract extension.
I can't
Does that
believe.
make sense?
Yeah, we're running late on first segment, and Zach throws a Brandon Bean extension question to Maggie.
Well, you know
that she could take the next half hour to discuss this.
Can Maggie just come clean here? She's not here today because she's trying to get Stephon Diggs to come on back and actually want to be a part of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Listen, this is my calling. Sometimes things take me away from the show. I had to do it, and so I'm on assignment today.
Maggie, thanks. Can't wait to see you Monday.
Yeah, guys, have fun, and I'm so glad. I mean, I'm sorry to leave you with all the angry callers about who we left off the list.
It's a good hit and
but
run right
good luck
here.
with all that.